Hello, I'm Toodler507, and this is my SGDQ 2018 submission for Temmie College. Just gonna name myself Temmie. Uh, Having a one character name is slightly faster, but it doesn't matter that much. So let's get started. So the goal of Temmie College is to acquire 1,000 gold as fast as possible in order to send Temmie to college. We do that by routing in various items to pick up to sell, killing certain enemies, and sparing enemies also gives us gold. So the text is moving by really fast because Z and Enter advance the text box, while X and Shift advance the text to the end of the text box. And if I rhythmically mash that, which we call piano mashing, then the text will go by very quickly. You also see Frisk here rapidly going up and down against the wall. It's called wall humping. It's not useful for any category besides something genocide based. It's just fun to show off. I fled the Frogget there because it's faster than sparing in general, because we would have to act on it first, and even if we could act on it, tutorial will stop us mid-fight, so fleeing is the best. So I currently hold the record in this category with a 2909. This category was rerouted, I want to say, near a year ago, to include using the punch card, which the punch card is known for breaking the game. But before, no one routed getting the punch card because you have to waste money to get it. So I'm gonna grind here because I want a Whimsin. Okay, that's not a Whimsin. I'm gonna hope to get one in the next room instead. Alright. So I killed that Whimsin for the 2 gold, and also Flowey after we finish tutorial. We'll have a shorter text. But how we route it, we actually come out to exactly having 1,000 gold. Okay, this is Napsibluke. We have to cheer him 4 times. We have to be careful on the 4th turn, because if we accidentally check or threaten him, it'll restart a cycle. We have to waste 3 minutes. Okay, I accidentally threatened him there, so I just get an extra turn. Luckily, it wasn't on the 4th turn. Okay. The Ruins has the RNG of the run, where right now any encounter is random. I'm taking a detour here to grab the ribbon. I'm gonna sell that later. Then we have to press the switch. There is a chance we can make it out of that room, but it's very unlikely. To press these switches in a certain order while the perspective changes. Alright, you're very likely to get an encounter in that room. I'm taking another detour here to grab the toy knife, which we're gonna sell later. And that's it for the encounter RNG. Gonna come up here, grab the pie. When you get to the Temmie shop, there is one item that you can bargain to be sold for more money than they originally offered. The pie gives you the most money when you haggle for it. So it's very important we grab that to sell. We don't use it at all, we just sell it. Okay, Toriel has a 40% chance to give us a hand attack here, which we can cancel by running into. We have a chance to get up to 8 of those. Especially right here, I'm gonna get a 1 damage from that spawner. I messed up my turns. On the final turn here, at 3 health, any attack will cancel. So actually killing Toriel is roughly 1 second faster. But when we do that, our level goes to 5 and gives us, I think, 16 more health. Which we want to die to the Papyrus fight 3 separate times as fast as possible, and that just adds 2 extra turn per fight, which the time loss from that is too great. So we just take the 1 second time loss here and spare her. That's the end of the ruins. So normally if we're pacifist, Flowey will have like a big laugh and his face will come out. And if we're genocide, he'll give us a little voice acting speech, but here it's shorter text, really short laugh. It's probably a second faster. So now we're entering Snowden. Snowden is a lot of mashing. Has 1 big skip. And we also are picking up a couple items along the way. And each spare we get from the dog mini bosses gives us the gold we need. This is also where we're introduced to Sands and Papyrus. Alright, I'm gonna heal here for safety and go up here. No, not here. Okay, first grab the tough glove. Equip it. Because we need the stick to sell. And also the stick lets us finish the dog mini bosses in 2 turns instead of 3 or more. I got confused on the snowman location. So this is a forced encounter. Just gonna flee it. And our first dog mini boss, Doggo here. Just use the stick. Follow his sword attack and it'll leave the screen faster. So right here, we go get the snowman piece. Gonna sell that. These puzzles are really difficult. So I have to go over here and hit the switch to lower some spikes. Flee lesser dog. And we get our next dog mini boss fight here, which just gonna do the same thing, throw the stick and spare. Each dog mini boss gives us 40 gold. There's... okay, this is a slow attack. There's a 50-50 on the slow and fast attack. I think the difference is about half a second. So now we actually have to do these puzzles. See, they're very difficult puzzles. This puzzle right here is even a little more difficult. Oops. It's funny that switch behind the tree will just finish that puzzle for you. So right here we want to say no twice. Because actually... him activating the puzzle is very slow. So we do not want to understand that puzzle. So here's our first skip of the game. That's not RNG based. This ice puzzle skip. And I pressed... you're supposed to press down right there on the same frame. I pressed right first. But if you do that, you'll start the bridge cutscene, and you won't have to sit through it. You'll just slide right through the animation. So that was about 10 seconds slower. Falling down. And this is our final dog mini boss. Just gonna throw the stick and spare. He had a chance to give us a fast attack as well, which saves 3 seconds, but we did not get it. Okay, that's the end of Snowden, and now we're entering Snowden Town. You can actually interact with that sign as soon as you enter the igloo, and store text and wrong warp into this next room. But I believe it only saves a frame or two. It's a very insignificant wrong warp. So we have to fight Papyrus. Actually dying to Papyrus 3 times. Oh, I clicked out. Oops. Oh, how I clicked out. Okay. So dying to Papyrus 3 times is actually faster than going through his full fight. It's roughly a minute and a half to a minute 45 seconds faster. There hasn't been an exact timing done, but it saves a lot of time. I'm actually doing this submission on a different computer and different keyboard because my laptop charger stopped working and I'm waiting for a new one, but it won't come in time for submissions. So my performance here definitely does not reflect my skill level with this game. Something I did mess up is on the first phase of Papyrus, I should have checked or thrown the stick. I accidentally fought because I guess my right input was eaten. And that would have skipped his blue attack, which does save time. But on the second and third phases here, sparing is all you need to do. Okay, that was the third time. So now we're gonna come up to him and he's gonna offer us mercy, and we're gonna accept his mercy and not fight him anymore. And boom, we saved a minute and a half or so. And that is the end of the Snowden segment in general. And now we are entering Waterfall. So right in the beginning of Waterfall here, we're gonna go up into this waterfall and grab the old tutu. Not that we're actually gonna sell it, but we're going to equip it later because the current defensive item we're wearing is a bandage, and the bandage sells for 150 gold. The version I'm running this on is the English Linux version 1.001. The Japanese version of 1.05 or faster, or later, would actually be faster, just because of the time save it has from unskippable text having less characters in it. But in this category, it wouldn't be too much faster. And the inputs, how they're handled on 1.05 and later, actually make the mashing a little more inconsistent and slower. So runners tend to prefer the older versions, even though the newer version is fastest. This is the first spear segment we're gonna see. It's just a dodge these spears as they come after you. Where the spears appear is RNG, but we can kind of manipulate them. So we only have to stop briefly once for a perfect spears one here. After this, we finally get to the punch card, which is our game-breaking item here. I'm actually going to save for fear of messing up the gold route, because if I buy more than one punch card, it's over. Okay. Actually, we can get early ballet shoes. Actually, no, we can't. Our inventory is full, but we can eat an ice cream. Right? Yeah. But we can't because we can't buy the more than one punch card. Alright. So I attempted a wrong warp there, but couldn't get it. The last item I'm gonna grab are the ballet shoes, which are right over here. Eating the ice cream was essential because our inventory was full. We also could have left it in the box. That is always a scripted double bolts ball, which we can spare instantly. So I'm gonna attempt our first skip here with the punch card. Alright, there it goes. That skip has a potential to soft lock if you're too slow moving to the right after getting the skip. But that usually only happens to newer runners. If I stand next to the spot to transition, hold the direction and against the wall of the transition. That was weird. There's one frame in between using the punch card and when it appears on screen, so you can use that frame to enter cutscenes, transition, interact with something. So while transitioning, your interact value, which is how the game tells if you're allowed to move or not, is set to where you can't move. And if you transition into the room without closing the punch card, your value wouldn't have changed, and you'll actually soft lock because you won't be able to move in the next room. But if you close the punch card before you transition, your value gets changed to one where you're allowed to move again. So each wrong warp has a potential to soft lock, but it's roughly a 6-frame window in a 30 FPS game, so about 0.2 seconds. You get that? This is our second Spears chase. I'm actually manipulating the spears here. If you hold the direction you want to go and another direction against the wall, all the spears will go to that direction. So I'm holding down, they're all going to appear below me. So you should never have to stop while doing spears 2 here. This will be the last time we see Undyne, because right after this next mini-boss fight, we'll be heading straight for Temmie Village to send Temmie to college. I'm actually gonna go ahead and equip the old tutu, because the only reason I didn't equip it earlier, because if you have the bandage on, you have a 100% chance to flee from any random encounter. Any other equipment will increase your defense, but then your flee chance gets lowered. And as of now, there's nothing else we need to flee. So I'm purposely getting hit here, because I'm going for a 5-turn Mad Dummy to end his first cycle as fast as I possibly can. And getting hit earlier actually changes the attack pattern to where I'll get more of these cotton balls to hit him with later. So it should end here. Yep. So that's a 5-cycle Mad Dummy. For his second phase here, it's just an auto-scroller. We actually don't need to hit him. Okay, that's the end of his attacks. He has one more knife attack that does... It does 7 damage if you have the bandage. I don't know how much it does with the tutu on. But getting hit by it doesn't make the attack end faster, so there's no reason to get hit by it. And that's the Mad Dummy mini-boss. There is an invisible wall here that we can't get past that you'll see me walking into until Napspook leaves, and that's why we can't skip the Mad Dummy fight. That invisible wall extends pretty far out of bounds, and it would be near impossible to get around unless we found some way to get out of bounds. Nice. So I'm purposely not going to wrong warp in this room, because now I want to get the Temmie. Temmie village is off the path here. Alright, and now we should have all the gold we need. Oops. Alright, that wrong warp there saves a lot of time. So now I want to sell, say no, and then yes, and then sell everything else. And now I have exactly enough for college. And that's the end of the run. We've sent Temmie to college. Yep, so that's my Temmie college submission.